Hello and welcome to episode 114. For this video I've been joined by my mate Alex. Those of you who are long-time viewers will remember Alex from last time we fished together was 2 years ago at Diggers.
Yeah.
And if you're a new viewer, then this is Alex.
Hi.
Right, for this episode, come in a bit. There we go. For this episode, we've come down to Farlows and we're here for 72 hours. During the winter time, Farlows do a special offer where it's basically 2 days for the 3 days for the price of two. Sorry, so it's 50 quid for 3 days fishing, which is quite good. Unfortunately, quite a lot of people have come down and taken advantage of the same offer. We got here quite early this morning, and to be fair, we didn't think we was going to get a swim. The original plan was to get on Lake 2. Lake 2 was absolutely chocker. We'd done a lap of Lake 1. It was chocker. Virtually every peg was taken. We were starting to do a second lap of Lake 1 with buckets, etc. And by luck, sort of pretty much, we got down to peg 8, which we're in now, and a couple of lads had just left, so run back to the car, got some gear, got in his peg, and it was about 3 o'clock by the time we actually got fishing, so it took quite a bit of time to actually get a swim and get fishing, didn't it?
Sounds good.
But we are fishing now. Like I said, the light is starting to fade now, so I'll show you the lake, our swims, where we're fishing, rigs, techniques, baiting approach and all that tomorrow when we've got more light. Hopefully there'll be fish in the night to show you, but when we was doing a lap of the lake and chatting to everyone, by the sounds of it, there wasn't many fish coming out, just the odd one here and there, so it is fishing tough at the moment, probably due to the high pressure the lake has seen at the moment. High pressure of anglers, not from the weather, I mean. Anyway, don't waffle on too much. So hopefully we'll get to show you some fish during the night. But so whenever I see you next, let's go fishing. Good morning, people. Last night was an uneventful night. A few liners. Each rod had a couple of liners during the night, but that's about it. About the most commotion we heard last night was some sort of big accident on the M25 behind us. Hell of a bang, and then emergency lights flashing away on the motorway behind us for quite a few hours, so I don't know what happened there, but whatever happened, I hope people are okay. But going to be changing things around this morning. I'll tell you what I've been doing up to now. The middle rod is fishing on a hinge stiff rig, and the two outer rods has been fishing on maggot rigs. I don't know if any of you would have seen Mark Pitcher's challenge night recently, where he was on Lake 2 here fishing maggots. Well, the two outer rods are fishing practically exactly the same rig. I just copied it really. The plan was to be on Lake 2, but it was so busy we ended up here on Lake 1, which normally should be the other way around. But leading around yesterday when we first got here, and there's a lot of weed out there. Not weed up in the water, but old dead weed from when it was weed here in the summer. Now it's all dead and it's laying on the bottom. When I was pulling the lead back, nothing was locking up, but you could feel the lead really dragging heavy on all that dead weed. So I'm going to abandon the maggot rigs and go with hinge stiff rigs like I am on the middle rod on all three rods. I'm still going to put maggots on the rig, so what I'm going to do once I've tied the rigs, I'm going to put a few maggots on top of each pop-up on the rig. So there will still be maggots there. Alex behind the camera is currently retying his PVA bags. So that's pretty much the story so far. So when I finish this bit, I'm going to wind in all the rods, so change the 2 outer rod rigs, refresh the bait on the middle rod, probably spot a little bit more bait out, and cross my fingers for some bites. Been watching the Facebook Farlows page. Bearing in mind the place is absolutely rammed, so we're talking, you know, there's 2 people in every double swim. There's got to be about 80 odd people fishing Lake 1 at the moment, and there's a couple of fish coming out, but for the amount of people that's on the lake, it's no fishable really. Anyway, crack on and sort the rods out, and hopefully something good can happen soon.
Right guys, before I actually do sort anything out with your rods, while the sun is up, I'll give you a little tour of the swim. So, as you might have just seen, my rods are the ones on the right, Alex is fishing on the left. Alex has got 2 rods out, but he's currently PV bagging his left hand rod. So you might be able to see in front of us, that's a little island there. That's sort of the right hand limits of our swim to sort of that island there. And to our left there's another island, but we ain't got this. The limits of our swim is probably about just there somewhere, sort of just left of halfway of the 2 islands. So at the moment I've had my left hand rod fishing close in. I've just done an underarm chuck close in, sort of just down here, and then middle and right rods, and they're sort of fishing 11.5 drops out. Originally when I was leading around, I did lead right out to this big island and little island just here, but out there the dead weed is a lot thicker than what it is closer in, so I decided to fish closer in rather than long chucking it. But yeah, considering how busy it was when we got here yesterday, we've ended up with not a too bad swim at all, to be fair. Right then guys, just going to show me spod stroke baiting up mix. As you can probably see, there's a lot of maggot in there. So I've already said the original plan was to go on Lake 2 when we got here. So the plan was to bait up with a lot of maggot on Lake 2, where maggot's probably more effective on lake than it is on Lake 1. But because I brought 2 gallons with me, I'm going to use it anyway. So that's why my spod mix has got a lot of maggot in. And you can obviously see the corn, there's some hemp in there, and I put some pellet in, which I put in yesterday, which has gone a bit mushy now. So I've still got, you can see, a lot of maggot in the other bucket. Well, I'm going to go and chuck some of this in now off a little point just to my right. The bloke who was to my right has moved, so there's a nice little point to my right. So what was me close in rod on my left hand side, I'm going to sort of leapfrog me rods effectively, so go more round to me right and fish a rod off a little point. I'm going to chuck some of this bait in. show you the rigs I'm going to put out now. I've had more time today to sort things out. So, as I've already said, I'm fishing one rod already on a hinge stiff rig. And I'm doing all 3 rods to hinge stiff rigs now. So, I got, if you can see it, about 9-10 inches of the Corda IQ2 for a boom, little sinker in the middle. Choddy hook length obviously for the rig. Then the bait, I've got the Hinder's nuts. Hinder's nuts pop up, and then as you can see, because I've already showed you where I'm fishing a lot of maggot in my spod mix, I've just tipped off the bait with a few live maggots. So there we go, and I'm doing all 3 rods exactly the same. My scissors behind you, please, Alex. Hi guys, going to spot a bit more bait out now. I put a bit out last night before it got dark. As you can probably see, I've got one of the new Fox Impact Spods. Had a go with it yesterday for the very first time. Nice bit of kit. There was only one small issue I had with it, which I'll show you in a second. But apart from that, it flew nice. It opens nice. It retrieves sort of nice. One thing I found where it's kind of off balance, it kind of retrieves coming back to the right, but that's no big issue really. I'm going to fill it up now. The main issue I had with it, don't need the spoon. Right, it might not happen, it might happen, is on the scooping. I mean, it might just be because I've got wet pellet in my mix. Because as you can see now, there's a lot of gunk on the front, so that won't shut. So I have to clear the gunk off the front, but really that's my only issue. If you've got, I mean, it's probably just because I've got pellet in my mix, and if I didn't have the pellet, it probably wouldn't be an issue. But if you've got anything wet and sticky in your mix that can get stuck on that little hinge, that's really my only issue. But apart from that, it's a nice bit of kit. Right, anyway, get out in the water. So yeah, so that's the Fox Impact Spawn, guys. So like I say, I've not had any major issues with it really, apart from it just seems you need to keep that little area clean for it to shut effectively. Apart from that, nice bit of kit. Right, I'm going to carry on getting some more bait out. Hopefully see you with a big fishy. Alright guys, just a bit of a evening update. Well, I say evening, it's more like late afternoon, even though the sun's starting to go down. So I'll be losing the light soon. Well, to be fair, there's not a lot to update you with really, since showed him his sort of rig changes and tipping them off with the maggots. Haven't changed anything, them rigs are still out there. Although I did have to recast one rod, my right hand rod, to that point, because somebody stupid foreign muppet come round with a lure rod, chucked it from the swing that's to me right, straight over my line, and buddy dragged me rig in, so I had to rechuck that rod. And then where I was fishing to, another buddy stupid foreign muppet was fishing from that point, which is a no fishing area, just baiting up. And then a third buddy foreign idiot, buddy went in between the trees to Alex's left here, and buddy chucked a lure in from in between the trees to right beside his rods. So he got a shout out from one of the bailiffs who's on the little lake 3 behind, who was on the lake behind us. But
it's tough.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything show in this area yet, but several people who have come round now have told us we are in a good swim, so I think we're going to stick it out in this swim, aren't we? I mean, the wind has constantly been pushing down to this end of the lake the whole time we've been here, so in theory we're on the right area. We've only just gone past sort of the 24-hour mark really of fishing time, so we've still got a full 40 hours to go yet. I had a bleep on my right hand rod.
That's the first bit of action for me in 24 hours.
Oh, is your bobby moving?
It's in the wind. It's in the wind.
Sure.
Yeah.
I thought I saw your bobby moving. Possibly a liner maybe. Is it moving? Is it moving or swinging? Anyway, so Alex has put one of his rods out on a hinge stiff rig now as well, that I tied for him, so if he catches on that rod, I'm taking off the glory. No? But one of my fellow YouTuber friends, Daniel Zaneshi from Real Fishing UK, has come round and said hello as well. And he said 8.5 wraps out was a good spot on this swim, and as it goes, Alex is at 8.5 wraps out, so well, anyway, right, waffling now guys, so leave it there. But hopefully the next time we see you, hopefully it'll be in the night with a fish, if not, see you in the morning like that. Right, morning guys. Unfortunately, second night, uneventful. Well, you had a slight occurrence, didn't you?
I did, yes. Let's not talk about that.
No, talk about it. You have to tell the viewers what happened.
2:30, one toner alarm went off, struck into it, no fish. Not happy. So I chucked it back out in the earth and jumped in the bag. It's still sulking now. It's blowing an absolute hoolie outside and it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, we're expecting Storm Frank to be hitting us around midday, and the first signs of it are already showing. I've just had a look at the weather on the phone, and it says we've already got 19-20 mile an hour winds. But when the storm hits, we're expecting 40 mile an hour plus winds. So it's going to get a bit choppy later on. I've just put an extra guide rope down on the side of me bivvy to make sure I stay not blown away. But yeah, nothing more than a few liners for me last night either. But the wind is really hacking down this way now, so in theory it's looking good down this end though, isn't it?
It is, it should be.
I mean when this wind picks up later on, the wind's really going to be hacking down this way, so. But I'm going to have some breakfast in a minute and then try and get all 3 rods cast out onto me spots if the wind will allow it. And then hunker down for the rest of the day, I think, because I think this storm, once it hits, it's in for the duration of the day. So anyway, I'm going to go and have my breakfast and I'll see you later, one way or the other. Right.
Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go breakfasting.
Let's go breakfast.
And guys, just a quick update. Obviously no fish yet, I would have seen it. Me and Alex have just rebaited and refreshed all our rods. Sort of just trying to get everything done before this storm hits, really. You can probably see a bit of a chop on the water now. But, put a bit more bait out. Spodding was a bit difficult because you had to cast way to the left of where you actually wanted it to land. But yeah, that's about it really. So everything's done now for the storm hits. Just sort of waiting for the storm to hit because I'm sure we're going to have to batten down the hatches when it does hit. Right, all prepared. Waiting for it to hit. Morning guys. Unfortunately, another uneventful night. Apart from the weather, absolutely lashed it down and blown a hoolie all night. Even had to shut the bivvy door last night. As you can see, Alex is just doing a morning recast. I don't think I'm going to bother doing a recast on fishing rigs. I know Happy will be sitting on top of the dead weed, so there's only a few hours of fishing left for us anyway, so rather than disturb the swim for the last few hours, I'm just going to leave my rods out. But it's not over yet, we've still got a few hours to go. But the only downside is we haven't actually seen anything show in this area while we've been here. I know a few of you might say, oh, why don't you move and look for fish? You can't, the venue's packed, you can't move here at the moment. Too many people. Alex is looking cold. Actually, because it is cold. But it's not over yet. We're coming to the end of our 72-hour adventure here at Farlows, and
well, if you call it adventure, it's not really been much adventure at all, has it, unfortunately.
Honestly, I mean,
I'm trying to think of reasons why nothing has happened, but this area that we've been in, we have seen absolutely nothing show whatsoever in the whole time we've been here. I know many of you will say, why don't you move on to showing fish? The place has been so busy, moving was just out of the question, so I mean, people sort of waiting behind people to go. It's been so busy at the moment, but that's probably down to the time of the year. Well, the weather we've had this time of year has been really mild, plus the 3-day special offer that they have here at Farlows, so it's sort of cheap fishing. Everyone's getting out and making the most of it, so I mean, yeah, the place has been absolutely rammed the whole time we've been here, and that's the only thing I can put it down to, is that there's been so much pressure around the lake. It's just been difficult, hasn't it? So I mean, we've still got about 2 hours time of fishing ahead of us yet, so it's not over yet, but I mean, it feels like it might as well be. But I mean, it's still been good to get out. It's the first time we've fished together in 2 years.
that's what it is.
But anyway, guys, right, I'm going to leave it there. I'll see you, well, I don't know when, to be honest, but if you have watched this blank, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Till then, ta-lines.